Time for the part of each playthrough where I figure out where I want to make a new weapon or not. Don't know why I phrased it like that, or why I said it in that intonation. None of these weapons are useful as far as I can tell. Claymore is already a +7, so I kind of fucked that up. Yay. Enchanted Falchion. Falchion. I don't remember if enchanted works or not. Fuck it. I think you have to be divine or blessed. I think blessed is one of the types of upgrades, but I don't remember for sure. It's hard to tell. I should probably just go onto the Wikipedia page and research this, but instead I could just test it out and see what happens. Howdy. Howdy. Ow. Rude. Ow. You're being very rude right now. Choing. Is this working? One issue is I can't remember for sure if these guys revive or not. Shit. But hey, I don't necessarily need to even upgrade it. Just like a backstab does enough damage to kind of kill them. Oh, that was supposed to be a jump attack. Oh, there is a jump attack. Okay. Oh, its range is not awesome. I'm a little indecisive right now. I don't really want to fully upgrade it because I'm not 1000% sure that it even works, because these guys might not get back up. I don't remember. It might only be the ones later. So let's just keep going for a bit. That's not the door. That's just a giant thing I don't want to wake up right now very much. Hi. Two-handed it. Not quite enough. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oopsie. Oh! Holy shit. Look at Mr. Badass over here. Got parried by a random skeleton. That's terrifying. Ah. He didn't act on it at all. It was just a slow-mo moment of like, yeah, I could do it if I wanted to. Like, just to taunt me. But, it was still spooky. I was like, what's gonna happen to me? And then nothing happened. Hee hee! This might be where they start waking up again. Ah. I was right! Fuck! That is what's going on, is everyone in the graveyard doesn't get back up. But everyone downstairs does get back up. You can rewind all the way back to 2011 and watch our, like, original playthrough and have us discover that the hard way. Because I don't remember if we went to the Catacombs, or whatever this place, I don't know if it's all called the Catacombs, but whatever. I don't know if we went to the Catacombs or Lost Izalith first. I mean, the Catacombs or New Londo first. But we definitely tried both of those before we ever tried going to the Undead Burg. And, there was a multi-stage... It was just a process. There was a lot going on that day. Let's go to the Undead Parish, the most convenient blacksmith in the game. I think he can do, divine upgrades. I have these resources, I might as well just give myself a divine weapon if I can. Although I'm a little worried about whether or not I have the resources for doing it. Because you might have to upgrade to 5 first, but I might be able to downgrade my claymore.
Well, I've used meat.
Modify equipment. The raw claymore, the divine claymore. Yeah. I think I specifically go for the divine claymore on a regular basis, actually. Alright, we'll do divine claymore. Da-da-da-da! Reinforced weapon. Might as well make it better. Now it's more diviner. Now it's even more diviner. Look how divine it is. It's like infinity divines. Modify. This is how you just get rid of the effects on things. Reinforce. We can't reinforce it anymore. I think a level find divines maximum.
Oh yes, and one other thing about the Darkroot Garden. It is said to house the grave of Sir Artorias, the Abyss Walker. Only, of those who ventured into the forest, none has returned.
Dropping hints about Sif. Sif gets a lot of hype in this game. I think...
I'll be seeing you next week.
I think he's explicitly, like, called out by the forest guy, too. The forest cat. So, like, on a regular basis, more and more people explain little hints of what Sif's story is. And then his boss fight chamber itself is super pregnant with, meaning and implications. And then just to top it all off, we eventually get an entire expansion of additional details. Did I go right past it? There it is. Let's compare that crap. So... being divine, it scales with faith. Oh boy. So it's a difference between having a 501 damage weapon and a 343 damage weapon, which is a hell of a difference. But we'll switch back when I'm done with it. Oops, I hit B. Divine Claymore! Bam! We missed you, Claymore. I hit cancel. Well, alright. Despite not being my weapon, it should do significantly more damage than the Falcoin did, or Falchion did, or the... Just love to re-inspire that debate about pronunciation every time that weapon comes up. It's fun. So here's what we did when... So Andrew and I struggled against these guys for so long, like, these guys are impossible, wow, Dark Souls really is hard, because the whole narrative is that the game's hard and all that, so when you find something hard as a new player, you're not that surprised. But we aggroed a big one, and we ran over down to here, and had the terrifying experience of the big one not being able to fit through the door, and like coming at us like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park with the, in the waterfall. Except much to our surprise, it did eventually start coming down into the staircase. After initially not seeming to fit, it started to fit, and it was terrifying. Yeah, everyone else they just didn't chase me this time. Huh. Someone just killed themselves. No, don't roll. Why'd that happen? Weird. That's not what I pressed. Aha. So the gimmick in this area is that all of these skeletons are being revived by necromancers that will just infinitely revive them. And it's kind of a pain in the ass, but technically doable. Because they're not very strong, and any attacks you do make them kind of partially fall apart usually, so that they're really stunned. They have like negative poise, essentially. So crowd controlling them is somewhat feasible in many cases. And you kind of just rush through and you try to find the necromancer and kill the necromancer, because then all of the skeletons attached to said necromancer will stop reviving. Then you just keep going through the zone like that. But like many things in Dark Souls, player knowledge can completely take a huge chunk of the difficulty out of the game and subvert it. I've cited before a few times that one example to me of player knowledge destroying the difficulty at times is that spells are often the easiest way to play through a Dark Souls game, but the spells, playing any kind of spellcaster requires so much player knowledge just to figure out how to get items that make the spellcasting build viable, or how to find the spells themselves, and oftentimes you practically have to be in New Game Plus already to even have a decent build, because of how long it takes to acquire the spells in a given run during each game to make that a particularly good build in many cases. But once you got it, you got it. And that was really shown by my playthrough with of Demon Souls with Wanderbot, where I was like, all right, I figured it out, and what we gotta do is we gotta take out, I think it was like Maiden Estrella, and no, not Maiden Estrella. So you had to take out the false idol, or the fool's idol. There we go. You had to take out the fool's idol as fast as possible. And if you take out the fool's idol, then you get this nice situation where you have Homing Soul Mass, an incredibly overpowered spell. Then you go grab like one item that makes your spells stronger, and just like that, you're like two-shotting entire boss fights in that game. And it's the type of thing like, wow, that sure takes out the difficulty of the game, but at the same time, it's the thing you'd only know about via extra knowledge of the game. It's a weird paradox where the better you get at Dark Souls skill-wise, also the more you know about Dark Souls, and the more you don't need the skill that you have now because the game itself is so much easier. I think that's basically the entire reason why challenge runs exist, is that these people find themselves in this paradox where they're getting better and better at the game, but they don't actually, but being better at the game doesn't matter because they know all this other shit that makes it, that makes the game easier. Like they know how the online summoning system works, and they know how multiplayer works, and how spellcasting works, and how weapon scaling works, and how all these other different systems work, and understanding each of those, any of those systems individually massively makes the game easier, and understanding all of them makes the game almost trivial. And so that's why people carve chunks of the game out. Like, real Dark Souls players don't summon people, and real Dark Souls players don't use magic, and like they keep coming up with more things that you're not supposed to use for the true Dark Souls experience. Because they're chasing the— oh my god! That could not have gone worse. Like, people will keep stacking more things because they're trying to chase that feeling that they kind of had the first time when they didn't understand the game. Like, it's just learning more about the game is in a way a detriment. So while some people get frustrated watching somebody not know all the details about these games, in many cases I think some of those people are also jealous of somebody actually being challenged again the way that they aren't always anymore. Which is probably part of the curve of like pushing for harder and harder and harder boss fights in like Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne and so on, where like I'm pretty convinced that like there are a number of bosses in Dark Souls 2, 3, and Bloodborne that are just objectively harder than the ones in Dark Souls 1. And that I'm extra convinced of that after having played this playthrough and been and seeing that up close. I thought I would just really quickly and easily take that guy out last time, and more and more of them kept coming, and I just kept barely missing my swings, and everything just kept slightly getting worse until suddenly we had a tipping point where everything got really fucked. So not repeating that mistake. Kind of an unnecessary move. The only real danger I was avoiding is him casting spells at me, I guess, because he can't revive the skeletons. So charging him only makes him stop casting fire spells at me and nothing else. But that's of course the entire trap, is he's running through the level to trick you into running into all of the hazards. Because he is this area's equivalent of a crystal lizard, but instead of being a source of loot, he's a source of not having to fight more skeletons. So a lot of people play this zone really early, which reasonably it can be done when you're better at the game, at the very least. Because there's two reasons. One, the boss is really easy. Two, said boss gives you the Rite of Kindling, which allows you to kindle bonfires significantly higher, getting way more Estus flasks, but I don't really think that that number of Estus flasks is very necessary for me, so I wasn't really that worried or concerned about getting to 20, but 20 is an option if you want it here. which I think is more than any other Dark Souls game lets you have. I don't remember what Dark Souls 3's cap was, but I think Dark Souls 2 capped at 12 flasks, which you had to get one at a time. Hey there. Oh. Ow. Okay, stop that. Ow. Alright, I'm just gonna back off for a second before more projectiles take me out. Ta-da! I'm not even joking, I just don't remember how Dark Souls 3 worked, flask-wise. It was probably an amalgamation of other games or something. I don't think you kindled bonfires. I don't think they ever went back to that. Yeah, I don't think they ever went back to kindling bonfires in any other sequel, but I don't remember. In Dark Souls 2, the equivalent of kindling bonfires was that you could send the bonfire forward into New Game Plus, and that specific level became New Game Plus, which is a really weird system that never came back, but is kind of cool. Just more options for the player, I guess. More rope to hang themselves with. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Don't mind me. Ow, that wasn't very nice. Goodbye, skeleton. Ow. Rude. Rude. Hey, stop that. Hi there. But of all the flask ones, I think I do prefer Dark Souls 2's system. This whole convoluted system of becoming human to kindle a bonfire, and like, in general, it was kind of annoying to have to become human to kindle a bonfire, just because, unlike summoning people, the benefits of kindling a bonfire did not require you to stay human, so being human to kindle a bonfire in the first place just kind of felt like a pointless additional restriction. Is he gonna get back up? Yep. So I didn't like that very much. And also kindling in general is like a weird, awkward system where you have to like infuse a currency directly into the bonfire itself or something. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, points for being different, I guess. But a more straightforward system of finding collectibles, basically, that upgrade you is rather nice. And a good compliment for the way that Dark Souls is very heavily about exploring environments. So having a system that rewards you for thoroughly exploring the levels by giving you permanent upgrades on how many flasks you can have or how strong the flasks are is like a really nice system that directly complements the primary strength of the Dark Souls franchise. Whereas jamming humanity into your bonfire is kind of a whatever kind of other thing. Hey guys. But yeah, so people go to this level for the rite of kindling, and also if you're a dex build, a not terrible thing, and I think it's what I did in my 2013 playthrough, is that you can get a... You gonna keep firing me? Ow, that came at me faster than I thought it would. A not terrible option, son of a bitch, is to get the scythe, which is kind of hard to find, but it's easy to get to if you can find it, if you're lucky. But the scythe has really good dex scaling. It's a very long-range weapon. It's kind of a paradoxical choice for dex builds, because it's about being able to attack over great distances relatively slowly, which most dex weapons are about. Are actually about being fast usually, the rapiers and whatnot. But I think I went with that for my 2013 playthrough, which was when I was just cowarding my way through the game. I was wearing stone armor, ow, wow, wow. Ow. Worth it. Got souls. I was wearing like Mask of the Father, Lautrec's ring, stone armor, it might have been Havel's shield, and a scythe in a supposed dex build. It was a real weird playthrough. That was the same playthrough where I specifically took out 4 kings before doing the Lord Vessel. Just because I found out online that you could, and I was like, sure, let's try to do this weird non-linear, like this weird run that stresses how non-linear Dark Souls can be in counterintuitive ways. So that was fun. And by fun, I mean it was agony, because I could not take 4 kings. I can't make up my mind if I want to go down here or jump in that one hole that I saw earlier. Because I think if I walked in that one chunk of the grave, I could fall through it. I think. I don't know my way around this level, like, at all, honestly. Like, I know somewhere is a drop that goes to Vamos, which, like, it could be this one, but if it's this one, holy sh... Is it this one? That's, like, so early, isn't it? That feels so early. Huh. Oh well. I think Vamos might be the why that... I think Vamos is the reason I never, engaged with the Patches the Hyena storyline in Dark Souls 1. Like, I knew he existed, but mostly because of Demon Souls. Oh, here we are. Like, I mostly know about him because of Demon Souls, where he's a much more prominent character. Dude comes over to beat a wall down just to say, go away, dude. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Man, that looks weird. The fire. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Well, alrighty then. Yeah, there's the main Patches thing, like the usual kick moment, but like he has like stuff that happens upstairs up there, and like I think I discovered that for the first time during Andrew's playthrough when he was interacting with Patches. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Wait, Patches shows up upstairs?
Why? Is that an ember from New Londo? And a fine ember it be. What do you say? Why not leave it with me? I'll give you a flame to feast your eyes upon.
You, like, kind of hurt my ears when you talk.
Yes, very well. We'll get these old bones to work. I'm here to smith, not to chit-chat.
Sells you homeward bones and a bunch of arrows, I guess.
If that'll be all, then be gone with you. You'll spoil my focus. Why, you have an ember, do you? Ah, forget about it. I don't deal with that kind. What has gone wrong with embers these days? Well, what was that about? Don't be coming around here without a good reason.
What's going on with embers these days? But yeah, I think I always fall in this hole and find my way over to him, and I think I've never encountered Patches a single time in any of my playthroughs in the above area. But hey, check out the playthrough with Andrew if you want to see that stuff. I suppose, because I guess I went this way. Hi! Minor problem, I don't know which way to go. Is it this way? Hit, hit! Who let the dogs out? Yep! 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 Excuse me. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Cut it out. You gone? You're gone. Alright, cool. What a convenient bonfire. That was not there before. And I think I'm thoroughly done with the other thing. And I should equip you in my shield slot. Where are you? Yes. This item single-handedly salvages the next level for me, because it kind of turns it into this interesting gamble of dark versus light and the risk-reward, and do I use my shield or not? Much like what they did with the gutter later on. I think I've heard his full theme, and it's actually a neat theme. Mask of the Father, that's the wrong mask. I must be thinking of Mask of the Sun as being the one that I had before in the other playthrough. These are usually good masks. They usually have like a stat bonus? Slightly raises equipment load. How slightly? I cap at 120.6. I guess I can go over here. Ah, damn it. Damn it. I pressed the bumper a little bit. Add 6 to my equip load. Technically helpful. It makes me look like this. Not strange at all. Hey! Well, that's convenient. I just equipped this new lantern. I was worried that it would affect my overall equip load, but Mask of the Father means I don't have to do any fashion souls right now. Isn't that convenient? Oh, there it is. Up and out. I wonder if it was an intentional choice or if they regret the amount of... There's no shortcut here, is there? Or can you climb over and around? Ah. Right, there's like a whole path through here, isn't there? The only way to get back. Otherwise you'd be trapped, right? I don't think you can go back out. I don't think you can climb back out of the coffin the other way. But yeah, I always wonder if that guy, if that boss's tiny health pool is intentional or not. Like if they meant for it to be a super easy to kill boss, or if it's like a weird mistake and they were like, oh wow, can't wait to see how the players react to this guy's moveset, and then he just dies in 2 seconds every time. Even when you're a weaker character, he dies like immediately. And it's like, ah shit. They'll never know that he has those cool tricks because they died instantly.